Apparently, the First Amendment is no longer a thing in California. The California State Assembly passed the, quote, Stop Nick Shirley Act on Tuesday with a 57-19 vote. It wasn't even close. But the Governor, Gavin Newsom, wasted no time signing into law. The bill outlaws the sharing of photos or personal data of, quote, immigrant service providers if done as, quote, harassment, which is defined by the people doing the fraud, by the way, and expands the state's Safe at Home program. Right. Okay. So California wants to protect immigrants, especially immigrants who are committing fraud with our tax dollars, and then stop Americans and investigative journalism, you know, like under the First Amendment, from uncovering it. Got it. The man himself, independent journalist Nick Shirley, who's hosting a rally to stop this bill in Sacramento on Wednesday. Nick, I'll get to the rally to say, this is insane that they named it after you.
Well, it is wild. The official title is AB 2624. And then when people started reading it, they're like, oh my gosh. The assemblymen were like, oh my gosh, this is the Stop Nick Shirley Act, because this would prohibit the exact form of journalism that Nick Shirley does. And so the Attorney General's wife is the one who created this bill, which is insane.
Yeah, no, it is really. And I was just, I was going through my little Constitution app here, and it says, Congress shall make no law. And then it goes on to talk about the free exercise of religion, but also journalism, like the press. You're sitting here being, no, you can't report on things that the government is doing. And that's the fundamental purpose of the First Amendment, is to follow along what government is doing to expose them, to make them accountable to the people.
Exactly. I mean, literally in the bill, it says that you cannot publicly post on the internet if you were to go out and film one of these locations. And there's actually no need for this bill. There's already laws put in place for people that are being harassed or doxxed. What these people are saying now is that, hey, if you go out and you speculate that there's fraud going on inside of this hospice or inside of this Leering Center, and you go out and you post it, but they give you a written demand saying, hey, you cannot post this video, it then becomes illegal. You'll receive a $4,000 fine, and you have to pay for the attorney fees of the people that are suing you.
Golly, this sounds so stupid. I mean, you can't even make this stuff up. Well, I mean, I'm sure it's going to get sorted. Do you know of any groups right now challenging this? Is this going to get challenged in the next 5 minutes?
I'll be working on something, and hopefully I'll have an announcement on that soon, because like someone needs to stand up for this. And if it has to be me, I'm happy to do it, because think about it. They're willing to openly violate our First Amendment. And so we have to actually do something about this. And for so long, California's been able to do all these things. I mean, they're going after people's tires now, for instance, and nobody's standing up. So somebody has to stand up. So that's why we're going to be at the Sacramento Capitol on Wednesday at 11 a.m. And I hope all of your viewers come, because it's necessary. It's important for people to actually voice their opinions on stuff that actually makes sense.
Yeah. Well, you think it was bad before. They're going to have absolutely no accountability now. Sacramento, 11 a.m., you said?
Yes.
Okay. Is there a website or anything people can get directed to for that?
My social media.
Okay.
Just follow me on Instagram or X and you'll get updated.
Okay. I'm glad you brought up your social media, because I wanted to get into your X account. You posted this hilarious meme showing exactly how stupid California politicians are. And it's like, I was looking at it, it does go down the line. It's like, there's no fraud. There might be some fraud. There is fraud, but we're on top of it. Actually, it's a crime for you to look into fraud in California.
Yeah, that's literally what happened. When I went and exposed all the locations, they're like, no, there's no fraud here. And then they say, oh, there might be some. Don't worry, but we're doing something about it. And then it just gets worse and worse and worse. And it's so funny, because when I exposed the hospice fraud, for instance, the Governor Newsom's like, no, there's no fraud. And then a few days later, he's trying to take credit for exposing the fraud. And then I exposed that a dog voted in the elections here in California. And people were like, well, it doesn't matter because it's a Republican. But that has nothing to do with it. It's the fact that a dog was able to vote. Yeah,
exactly. But that is the problem, too. You have this, like, people like this Mia Bonta, this state assembly member, all right, explaining that this is like going to be really good for it to protect immigrants. It says, quote, it allows participants to use a substitute address designated by the Secretary of State, keeping their home, work, and school addresses out of public records while still allowing them to safely receive mail and legal documents through Look, I was on the town council in my hometown, so my address is basically public. I get mail and junk there all the time. Why should some illegal immigrant be more protected than me?
Exactly. Why do they care so much about illegal immigrants? These NGOs that they're trying to get me to not to report on and not to be able to expose, one of them, the sponsor of this bill, received $80 million of our tax dollars that goes back into the legal services of illegal migrants.
That's insane. Where do people get
And
that?
Mia Bonta is also the Attorney General's wife.
Yeah, terrible. Where can I get a sweatshirt like that, by the way?
Antifraudclub.com.
I
Go and
love
get
that.
one. They're pretty awesome.
Yeah,
Califradia Republic.
those things are pretty rad. All right, Nick, Shirley, keep up the great work, man. Screw everybody, all the haters.
He loves the Constitution. He fights for what's right. He hates the bad guys. He's a freedom warrior. He's your freedom warrior. Watch Carl Higbie every weekday on Newsmax.